High above the old port of Naha, beneath the red stone walls of Shuri Castle, a tradition was born. Not just a method of fighting, but a way of thinking, a lens through which generations understood discipline, loyalty, and survival. This is Shuri-te, the original spirit of Okinawan martial culture, the foundation upon which Shotokan, Shorin-ryu, Wado-ryu, Kyokushin, and many others would later rise. To understand where karate is today, we must return to the beginning. We must return to Shuri. Okinawa was never isolated. Its warriors, the Shuri Bushi, traveled to China, learned Kwanfa, internal breathing arts, and sophisticated striking principles. When they brought this knowledge home, it merged with the island's native combat traditions. But there was another force shaping the art: politics. During the Meiji era, the term Tode, Chinese hand, became politically sensitive. Japan wanted to distance itself from China. So Okinawan masters began using the more neutral term te, meaning simply hand or technique. It was in this environment of cultural tension and quiet resistance that karate evolved. An art caught between diplomacy and tradition. An art already being pulled in different directions, the early seeds of the fragmentation we see today. Sakugawa Kanga is remembered as the first great architect of the Shuri-te tradition. After years of study in Fuzhou under the Chinese master Kusanku, he returned to Okinawa with refined striking principles, structured forms, and a new understanding of movement. Sakugawa laid the earliest foundation on which all later Shuri-te would be built. But it was Sokon Bushi Matsumura who transformed that foundation into a complete martial system. A bodyguard to 3 Okinawan kings and a strategist trained in both Chinese arts and Japanese swordsmanship, Matsumura forged kata into tactical lessons: Naihanchi, Pasai, Gojushiho, Kusanku. Every movement he refined carried purpose: control of distance, decisive entry, and the ability to end conflict instantly. Through Matsumura, Shuri-te became not just a collection of techniques, but the disciplined fighting method of the Ryukyu royal guards. By the beginning of the 20th century, Shuri-te stood at a crossroads. The old Ryukyu Kingdom was gone. The Meiji government was reshaping education, and Okinawa was being absorbed into a rapidly modernizing Japan. In that moment of uncertainty, Anko Itosu emerged as the quiet architect who would secure karate's future. A direct student of Matsumura, Itosu possessed both the technical depth of the old Bushi class and the organizational vision of a modern educator. He believed karate could not survive if it remained a secret art practiced behind closed doors. So he broke down complex kata into progressive, teachable forms, creating the 5 Pinan kata, the backbone of school training even today. Itosu introduced structured drills, group practice, and written theory, something unheard of at the time. His legendary 1908 letter to the Ministry of Education argued that karate could strengthen youth, build discipline, and prepare the nation for a changing world. In 1901, thanks to his effort, karate entered the Okinawan school curriculum. Through Itosu, Shuri-te transformed from an elite, guarded discipline into a public educational system. He didn't just preserve the art. He ensured it would survive the century that followed. One of Itosu's students would carry Shuri-te beyond Okinawa itself, Gichin Funakoshi. Soft-spoken, disciplined, philosophical, Funakoshi refined kata, formalized training, and adapted Okinawan te to Japanese aesthetics and culture. From this evolution emerged Shotokan, today practiced by millions around the world. And if you want to explore Funakoshi's life in depth, I've already covered him in a full documentary. Just click the icon at the top right corner of the screen. Yet, Shuri-te had another voice. A louder one, a more unpredictable one. Motobu Choki, the fierce realist, insisted that kata meant nothing without actual fighting. He pressure-tested techniques in real challenge matches in Japan, proving the effectiveness of Shuri-te mechanics. And just like Funakoshi, I have a full documentary dedicated to Motobu. Click the icon in the upper right corner to watch the complete story. In 1927, the founder of Judo, Jigoro Kano, visited Okinawa. He wanted to understand the essence of this mysterious art, to see its main branches revealed before him: Nahate, Shuri-te, and Tomari-te. For Nahate, Chojun Miyagi demonstrated sanchin and breath power. For Tomari-te, Chotoku Kian performed his light, agile, fluid interpretations. And for Shuri-te, a dilemma emerges. Different oral histories claim different names, but one figure stands out: Kenwa Mabuni. Although Mabuni was already developing his own synthesis, combining Itosu's Shuri-te with Higaonna's Nahate, his mastery of Shuri-te kata made him the ideal representative. He demonstrated the Shuri line for Kano, bridging tradition with innovation. This moment mattered, because in that very demonstration, under political pressure and cultural negotiation, the first steps toward future fragmentation appeared. Different branches, different interpretations, different identities, exactly why karate today is divided into dozens of styles. Mabuni's role in this demonstration was more than symbolic. It foreshadowed the creation of Shitō-ryū, a school that preserves both Shuri-te and Nahate in their purest forms. It would become one of the 4 great Japanese karate styles. And yes, that story deserves its own documentary. A deep dive into Mabuni's life, his technical genius, his philosophy, and how Shitō-ryū became the most complete technical system in karate. That video is coming soon. Today, the influence of Shuri-te can be felt across the global landscape of karate. Its principles, speed, timing, footwork, and linear precision, survive in many of the major styles practiced worldwide. Shotokan carries the long lines, sharp angles, and explosive entries inherited from Shuri's ancient masters. Shorin-ryu preserves the natural stances and agile stepping used by the old palace guards. And Wado-ryu maintains Shuri-te's tactical distancing and intercepting principles, blending them with Japanese jujutsu. But what truly defines Shuri-te is how different it is from the other Okinawan branches. Unlike Nahate, which emphasizes rooted stances, heavy breathing methods, and tension-based strength, Shuri-te favors mobility, light, vertical stances that allow for fast entry and withdrawal. Where Nahate focuses on close-range pressure and gripping, Shuri-te prioritizes distance control, angle changes, and striking at the exact moment the opponent steps in. Compared to Tomari-te, known for its evasive footwork and jumping techniques, Shuri-te is more direct and tactical, built around decisive linear attacks rather than elaborate evasion. These differences shape the way karate conceptualizes combat itself. Shuri-te teaches that victory begins with understanding distance, not force, with controlling angles, not clashing strength, with timing, one clean counterattack instead of exchanging blows. Modern karate footwork, intercepting counters, and the idea of ending a confrontation with a single decisive technique all trace back to the streets of Shuri and the kata that preserved its logic. Shuri-te remains a living blueprint, not a museum artifact, but a technical language that still informs how serious practitioners train, think, and understand real combat. Wherever a fighter steps diagonally, breaks a line, evades instead of absorbs, or finishes a confrontation with calm precision. The spirit of Shuri-te is present. And so, after tracing the steps of Sakugawa, Matsumura, Itosu, and the masters who shaped the art, we return to the beginning, to Shuri, to the quiet courtyards where palace guards trained at dawn, to the place where karate first became a system of discipline, clarity, and decisive movement. Shuri-te is not merely a fragment of history. It is the foundation beneath every straight punch, every angled step, every moment of timing that defines modern karate. No matter which style you practice today, a part of your technique still belongs to Shuri. If you want to continue this journey through the evolution of karate, its masters, styles, and forgotten stories, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and stay with us. There are major documentaries on Kenwa Mabuni, Shitō-ryū, and the great Okinawan lineages coming soon. If you want to support the channel and help us build the largest martial arts archive in this part of the world, you can join the channel through the Join button or support the project on Patreon. Links are in the description. For training clips, behind-the-scenes content, and daily updates, follow me on Instagram. And for everyone who wants to dive even deeper, my book, The Way of the Empty Hand, is on the way, and channel members will receive early access to the audiobook chapters. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for building this channel with me. And remember, where there is discipline, distance, timing, and a single decisive strike, the spirit of Shuri-te lives on.